recording right now. So let's start over again here. So with an agenda today, we want to define the vault, talk about how to access the vault. Whoops, I'm sorry. Define the vault, talk about how to access it, talk about how to create folders, upload files, and then go into using the vault from your perspective and from the public's perspective, because there's two different looks to it and two different ways to get in things. Then we'll do question and answers at the end. So what is the Documents Vault? It's a secure, limited access place for all of your confidential due diligence material. You know, you create the folders, you, the listing agent, create the folders. You upload the files into those folders. You can put in any kind of, you know, Word, PowerPoint, Excel type documents, any kind of pictures, any kind of PDFs, all kinds of things you can put in there. You give permission individually for people to access it when you want them to have access to it. Decide what folders to share with the people and with whom to share them. You can create any folder you want in there. You can have a folder for leases. You can have a folder for, you know, surveys, tests, and studies. You can have a folder in there for service contracts and maintenance agreements. You can choose to share any of those folders with any of the people. You can choose to share just 2 folders with somebody and not share other folders with that same person. It's completely up to you. And then you'll have a permanent digital record of who accesses each folder, when they access it, how many times they access it, the day, the time, and then you'll be able to print out reports for all of that too. So taking a look at the two different perspectives, your perspective and the public perspective, and then the login reporting. So let's go now to the web and look at things from, first we're going to look at things from your perspective. Let me reduce these down here. And we'll be good to go. So from Commercial Resource, we won't get in how to access Commercial Resource. You go to the Resource Center, log in there, click on Commercial Resource. To access the due diligence documents folder for any property, you navigate to the property. There's a lot of ways to do that. We won't get into that. I have one here on my watch list called Sample Investment Office. This isn't a real property. This is just a sample. But I navigate to it. And because I'm the, quote, listing agent on this property, I can see the view public, the PDF flyer, the offering memorandum, the view cash flow analysis. And then there's another button here that wasn't here a week or two ago. It's called the due diligence documents. So I click on that, and this is the due diligence documents folder. From here, there are several things that I can do. I can create new folders. I can upload files into folders. So to do that is very simple. So let's create a new folder, for example. So I click on Create Folder. Let's call it Sample 3. Click Submit, and there it is, Sample 3. So if I wanted to delete that folder, I could just click on this and say delete. It's going to say, are you sure you want to delete that? I'm going to say yes, and it's gone. So simple enough, very intuitive. If I want to upload a file into a particular folder, I'll highlight that folder. I'll say upload file. I'll navigate to that file on my computer, and now you'll see that in this sample 2 folder that I had highlighted, there's a plus sign, which means there's something in it. If I click on the plus sign, there's the file that I loaded into it. If I wanted to open that file from inside Commercial Resource here, if you want to see, okay, is that the right file, you go click on this download button. The system will download it. Then you go to wherever your downloads are, click on it, and there it is. So it did it all just that quickly. If for some reason I wanted to delete that folder or that file, again, I just highlight it, click on this button, say delete, Or if I wanted to rename it, I could click that. But if I wanted to delete it, I'll click that. I would just say OK, and it's gone. So simple enough to upload things. One of the nice things about it is you can upload a zip folder too. So say, for example, I have a property and I want to upload, I don't know, all of the leases to the property into the system here. I can simply click Upload Zip Folder, browse to it on my hard drive, wherever it is. So where is it? Rent Rolls Zip. So I click on that, say Choose, and boom, it's uploaded. It's given the folder is given the name of the zip folder that I had in my hard drive. So you'll see in here I've got the rent rolls, or in this case, not the leases. So pretty simple stuff, pretty intuitive stuff. So now what I'd like to do is switch a little bit to the public view of things and go to the bhhscre.com site. So now we're in the public site. This is bhhscre.com. And if you're one of the affiliates that uses this public website template for your local site, same exact process on your local public website. But the public is, let's navigate to a property very quickly. I'm just going to do it the easy way. Put in my name, say search agents, click on my profile, scroll to the bottom. All my listings are hyperlinked here. Here's this same sample investment office property listing. So the public comes here and they click on it and they say, here's some information on it. They want to view the offering memorandum. So same kind of stuff. They must first agree to the following, blah, 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 blah. So they'll click here, put in their name. So they put in their name, their address, their company name, and hit go. Once they click on that, remember, you get an email saying that they accessed it with their name, their phone, their company, and all that kind of stuff. And they get access to all of the digital offering memorandum information. All the tabs are active for them. One here that's new is this due diligence tab. When they click on it, they're going to see another disclaimer, another level of security and confidentiality that says access to the due diligence vault is restricted to buyers and their agents who've entered into legally binding blah, blah, blah information. You have requested certain information. All the stuff is there. Then they say, okay, I agree to all of that. And they put in their name and phone number. And they say, okay, I want access to that. Then they'll get a page that says, you requested to view the due diligence documents for this property, or your request to view them has been sent to the listing agent. If you are approved, you'll receive an email at the address provided with additional information. So that's, from the public perspective, that's their. They go into the property, they access the offering memorandum, they click on the due diligence tab, they agree to another level of security and information, then they get this. What you get is an email that looks like this. The following person just requested access to the due diligence documents for your, and then the name of the property will be put in here and the address of the property. You'll get the name and the email address of the person. You'll get a link to the listing. And that says to approve their request for access and share the documents with them, go to, and there's a link here. I'm going to go right to it this way. When you click on that, you'll be taken here. So now if we look at this, what I have to do is this new person has asked permission to get access. So I'll go to permissions here. And you'll see, okay, here's this person, MW Field, Cybernet team, and they're unapproved. They do not have permission to access the due diligence documents folder right now. So I'll check them and say approve them. And once the system approves them, you can see now this will change here from unapproved to approved. Now it says approved. Then they will get another email that looks like this. Welcome, and again, it's using my name because I'm using me in all this, to the Due Diligence Documents Vault for Sample Investment Office, blah, blah, blah. Michael Fields has approved you for access to the vault. Save the link below as it will be your private access URL to the vault. Clicking on it now will take you to the vault, but Michael Fields may not have shared any folders or documents with you yet. Michael Fields will share certain folders and documents with you shortly, and you will receive emails detailing the folders and documents that she shares with you. Each time you enter the vault, your activity will be archived, and each time you access a document, it will be noted in the asset's permanent record. Again, save the link below. It will be the only way for you to access the vault in the future. So when they click on this link, they'll be brought to the Due Diligence Documents Vault, and you'll see here it says welcome, and there's nothing here. We haven't shared any documents or folders with them yet, so they don't have access to anything yet. So that's their perspective. Let's go back to your perspective now. Go back into commercial resource. So we've approved MW Fields to have access to the vault, but we haven't shared anything with them. So let's close out of there, and then now let's go here to the Share tab. So let's say we want to share the rent rolls and this folder with MW Fields, but not this one. Or maybe let's say we want to share them all with him. We could check this button here and share everything. Then we say share. Then there's a drop down. Who do we want to share this with? We'll click this guy here and then exit out of it and say share. So now what will happen is that person's name will appear over here where it says shared with. So you can see now all of these folders are shared with MW Fields. So MW Fields is shared with this one, and this one. So now MW Fields, now that I've given him permission and shared these folders with him, he's going to get another email. Let's see if it's come in yet. Here it is. So now when they get this email and they click on it, it's going to say MW Fields, blah, 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 all activities logged, and here are the folders that he's shared with you. So he's shared the sample 2, and the rent rolls folders. And here are the documents in each of them. So they can come here and they'll be able to click here and download it and open it and do whatever they want with it. So whatever you've shared with them now is part of the, and every time they click on this, they can go to their downloads and they can open it and see whatever it is. This happens to be an Excel spreadsheet, but you get the idea. They can see everything. So that's their perspective. They get access to all of that anytime they want to after you've shared things with them. Now let's go back to your perspective again. And let's say you mistakenly shared a folder with them and say, oh, I don't want to share that folder with them, or for some reason you want to unshare something. Simple enough. You'll see here these shared with, and let's say I don't want to share this folder sample with MW Fields. I simply click on the X and it's gone. That folder is not shared with him any longer. So it's real simple stuff, real intuitive stuff, and hopefully not a big deal, and it doesn't take a lot of training, though we're going to have some formalized training, and we'll do this webinar a couple more times probably, and we'll upload a video and all that kind of good stuff. The last thing that I want to talk about before we get to some question and answers is the logs. One of the great advantages and features of the Due Diligence Documents Vault is that it'll help you avoid issues and legal issues and arguments at closing, where you get there and you get this, you never told me that, you never showed me that document, you'll be able to, open your laptop or, maybe prior to it, print out the report, and be able to say, well, as a matter of fact, I did. And as a matter of fact, you accessed that folder and that file on this day, this day, this day, this day, and this day at this time. And you'll have a permanent digital record of each and every time they accessed it. To get to that, you go up here to the log. And the log is a real simple thing. It's just going to do a log for that property for every folder in that property. And you can sort these by the timestamp. You can sort them by the user's email address. You can sort it by their name. So if I just wanted to look at everything that MW Fields accessed, I'll just click on username, and everything will be there. So I can see on June 23rd, 2016 at 12:03, MW Fields accessed the file rent roll. On June 23rd, 2016, in the same minute, MW Fields accessed the marketing system flowchart. He accessed on June 23rd at 11:12, he accessed the sample investment office and requested access to that. So you have that, and then you can download this as a CSV and then open it. Then you can sort it any way you want. You can delete whatever you want out of it. If you format it for yourself. Whoops. You have it there. And then you can filter out anything you don't want. If you just, if you're going to a closing for this username Michael Fields or Mike Test 2, and I've been in here playing around, so I've got a lot of different things in here. But let's say this Michael Fields one, you could just go here, sort it A to Z, say OK, and then you could delete out, this guy. Anyway, long story short, you take with you a report of every time that Michael Fields accessed everything, and you can sort it by timestamp or whatever, and you have a permanent record of that forever. So hopefully that'll be something to give you some value and avoid issues and problems. You can also go in anytime you want and look at the log and see who's accessing things and see who's looking at things and what they're looking at and how they're making use of things. If someone's in the due diligence period under a contract situation and you give them permission to access the vault and then share certain files and folders with them, and you go into the log and you notice they're not accessing anything, you can give them a call or send them a note and say, hey, I've noticed you're in the due diligence period, but you haven't accessed any of the information yet. Are you having difficulty gaining access? Did you not receive the email giving you access? Or maybe they're just not a serious buyer and they're not doing the due diligence they need to do, and you'll know that as well. So that's kind of a quick introduction and tour of the due diligence vault. What I'd like to do now is see if anybody has any questions. Let's see here. Phil Bonham, you had your hand up. Do you have a question, Phil? I opened your microphone, so if you have your microphone on your computer configured properly, you can go ahead and talk now. If you don't, put your question in the question area, and then we'll get to it there. Stacy is saying, is this call for commercial resource administrators only, or is this for everyone? Yeah, no, this is for everybody. Especially it's for the commercial real estate sales professionals, because they're the ones who'll be using this. I think it's important that the administrators understand that it's there. I think it's important that the administrators, have a decent understanding, at least, of how it works and the capabilities of the Documents Vault. but I think that it's really critical for the agents and the sales professional level to be a part of this and to understand what is there for them and what's available to them. Let's see, any more questions here? Here's a question from Dominic. It says, more of a licensing question relating to the system. If I work on a team and I am the commercial rep for the team, would I have access to my team leader's Orion account, or can I use my own but brand with the team? A little bit of confusion there. Let me. Who is this? Dominic. Let me find you and open your. Where the heck did you go? Jay. Well, everybody's in here alphabetically, but I don't see you. Oh, there you are. Okay, Dominic, you're unmuted. Ask that question again, and we'll just chat about it.
Can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Okay, sorry, I'm in a Starbucks, that's why. So I work on the reading shooting team out of the West office for Berkshire.
You have to talk a little louder. There's a lot of background noise there.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can step outside with my... Let me see. Are you still there?
Yes. Yeah, I can hear you. Dominic? Well, we lost him. What he was asking, I think, your company has the ability to give access to commercial resource. We used to call it Orion, but since we converted to Berkshire Hathaway, we've rebranded to commercial resource to just kind of get that out of the way. A lot of people who've been using the system for a number of years still, their vocabulary still goes to the Orion thing, but we try to, we're calling it commercial resource, and you'll see down here it's powered by Orion. But your company can give access to commercial resource to anybody that it chooses. Any licensed or unlicensed person can have access to commercial resource in their own name. So whether you're a sales professional as part of a 2, 3, 4, 5 person team working on an asset, as long as you're the in the listing agent area, and let's show you what I mean by that. If we go to a property here. Let's go to this same sample investment property we're looking at. If you go to, well, maybe the easier way to do it is go here to view public listing. If we go here, anybody that's here, Michael Fields, Alan Crumbly, and sample agent, these are all people that are associated with this listing as listing agents, co-listing agents. This is a 3-person team. Any one of these 3 people can log into the property, can access the due diligence documents folder from commercial resource, and they can add documents and upload documents. They can run reports and do all that kind of stuff. So anybody that's associated as a listing agent can do all of that. If you're a staff person, maybe a licensed or unlicensed marketing coordinator who works with a team, but you're not technically on the listing as a listing agent in terms of commercial resource, let me show you what that means. So if you go to a property and click edit, 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 and get to the listing agents page, if you're not here associated with the listing as a listing agent, then you're not going to have access to the due diligence documents vault from inside commercial resource. You're not going to be able to upload documents, grant permission, share documents. You would have to log into the resource center as one of the listing agents, and then access commercial resource as them and go through the process. So if you want to be able to do that, you just have to select yourself, from the drop down or available users and move yourself over here so that you would have access and be able to do that. Otherwise, you'll have to log in as one of them. So hopefully that answers your question, Dominic. I'm sorry we lost you. And let's go to some more questions. Is there a limit on the file size that can be uploaded? No, there isn't any limit to it. There's no limit to the number of documents you can upload. Remember what this is, though. This is, all of the documents that you would need to give someone access to in the due diligence process. For a small property, there aren't going to be a lot of things. For a more sophisticated, larger property, there are going to be tons and tons of things. The folders and things that you create are going to be, different. I'll go to the documents folder here. These are just sample, but you may have a folder called rent rules. You may have one called surveys. You may have one called tests and studies. You may have one called environmental audits. You may have one called rent roll. You may have one called leases. You may have one called service contracts. You may have, you're going to have all kinds of stuff. You may have one called pictures, photographs, whatever. So there could be, as many folders as you want and any number of documents in any of those folders. Hopefully that answers your question. Another question, the properties listed, are they all brokerages or just Berkshire listings? Not sure what you mean by are they all brokerages. Remember what commercial resource is. Commercial resource is the internal technology platform for the Berkshire Hathaway family of companies. So in other words, for an assignment to be in commercial resource, it has to be an exclusive right of sale or lease assignment of a Berkshire Hathaway company, affiliate. We're not pulling from Xceligent or Commercial Search or LoopNet. Commercial resource will feed out to as many as 84 other publicly accessible CIE platforms, but the database of exclusive right of sale and lease assignments that's in commercial resource, again, are only those of Berkshire Hathaway network affiliates. So hopefully that answers that question. If I'm working with a client on multi-properties, can I put this in one file and give them access? No. Each property has its own individual and separate due diligence documents folder. So that's a good question. There's a lot of reasons for that as we were going through the architecture of this and figuring it out. But the simple answer is no. You can't give permission to a person to multiple properties vaults at the same time. You can't share with an individual person folders from multiple properties at the same time. You have to go into the documents vault of each property through commercial resource individually to give permission and to share. Does this give us the ability to bring up any property profile in this system and print it similar to LoopNet listings? That doesn't have anything to do with the documents vault, but it depends. It depends what the listing agent has put in the system. So, for example, if we go to the dashboard and let's go to this sample investment office building. So let's say you searched for this. You're in commercial resource, and you went to properties and you did a search, and so heck, let's go ahead and do the search. 33525, and we'll do a search. So I did that. So here's the sample investment office building. So the search gives me these properties all over the place. Here's the property I'm interested. I click on it. So I can see a little bit about the property here. So I go, I can look at the photos to the property, and then I go to the documents tab. So if the listing agent has uploaded a detailed offering memorandum, you could go here and print it. Um, if they haven't, you can't. So you can click here too. You click on this View Public Listing, and it would be here, Related Documents. So this person, me, on this sample listing has uploaded a sample document here, just to give you an idea what that is. It has nothing to do with this property. It has to do with, it's just an article. But whatever the listing agent has uploaded there, you'll be able to download. If they haven't uploaded it, then the answer is no. You can't download it. Hopefully that answers that question. Sorry, joining the webinar late, but is there a flyer for multifamily properties where I can input rent roll? Yeah, that doesn't have anything to do with the documents vault that we're talking about now. So Jennifer, why don't you send me an email, and we can guide you through that down the road. My email address is mwfields@orioncre.com, mwfields, F-I-E-L-D-S, @orioncre.com, and we'll get to you there. Working as a buyer's agent, can I access the listing information or just request documents? Not exactly sure what you mean by that, but whether you're acting as a buyer's agent or whatever, if you're a Berkshire Hathaway Network affiliate, you go to the Resource Center, you log in, you click on Commercial Resource, and you're brought to your dashboard. So from your dashboard, you can click on Properties. You can do a property search. Again, I'm going to do a simple one. So let's say you were looking for properties for sale in that zip code that are, let's call them office properties. And so you do search. So now you find these 4 properties, and you can zoom out on the map here to see exactly kind of where they are there, because these are all sample properties there. It's kind of crazy. They're all over the world. But let's say this is the one you're interested in, this one. You guys know too that you can check these and say, okay, these are the 3 that I'm interested in, and you can filter them out, and then you can do a summary report of them, and the system will, come up with a real nice report for you, or you can do a detailed report depending on, whatever you want. But let's say this is the property you're interested in. You can click on it, and then again from here, just click, if you're not the listing agent, click View Public Listing, and this is what you get. So you can print this out, you can zoom in, you can zoom out on the map, you can email it to a friend, share it on your LinkedIn, Facebook, or Twitter page. You can click here and send an email to any one of the listing agents. You can look at any of the associated links. Whatever documents the listing agent has attached to this listing, you can click here and see those documents. You can print those documents. You can print this listing as a one-page thing. Whatever you can do from here, you can do, whether as a buyer's agent or whatever. Another question: are there other tutorials scheduled for this, or are there any step-by-step tutorials on commercial real estate for troubleshooting? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that doesn't have anything so much to do with the due diligence documents vault, but we sent out a couple of emails over the last couple of weeks. No one seems to know where to find things. From any page in Commercial Resource, there's always up here this FAQs. FAQ stands for Frequently Asked Questions. So if you have a question or trouble with something or whatever, before you get frustrated or angry or think this is stupid or this is worthless or whatever, perhaps, give us a call, send an email, or just go up here and click on FAQs. If you click on FAQs, you're going to find a lot of frequently asked questions: navigation issues, login issues, how to edit your profile, bio pictures, where to find training, how many listing pics can I upload, can I upload more than one at a time, how do I delete a listing, how do I reactivate an expired listing. Anyway, you find any of these, and how do I reactivate an expired listing? Click on that, it'll take you right to it. Click on the Property tab, select All My Listings from the menu on the left-hand side, scroll through your listings until you find the one in question, left-click on it, click on the Edit button, make certain that, so all these frequently asked questions are here, and it's simple enough to navigate to them from anywhere in Commercial Resource. The other thing you can do is go over here to Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Commercial Resource and click here, and that's going to take you to training. So there's an introduction to Commercial Resource here, a video, how to log in and edit your profile, a tour of the dashboard, Documents tab, Properties tab, how to add a new listing, and all of these have a 10-15 minute video, a PowerPoint, and a PDF as well. So whether you like to watch a video, flip through a PowerPoint, or print out a PDF and have it, you can do all that. We'll have similar uploaded soon on this training for the due diligence documents vault. But you can get to that obviously from anywhere in Commercial Resource simply by going up here and clicking on the FAQs. Hopefully that makes sense. Sorry to join late. Obviously, it is extremely important to me at your opportunity. Can you tell me how to access the recorded session? Can you bring that up at the end of the webinar? Yeah, absolutely. It'll be, again, we'll put it in the FAQs over here in the Berkshire Hathaway Home Services side, and then it'll be in this line up here. It'll probably be towards the end, so just scroll down. We'll also have some frequently asked questions in here, and it'll be, we'll just add to this for the due diligence documents vault, and then you'll just click on it, and it'll take you to some simple answers for the documents vault. So that's where you'll find it. But always go to the FAQs. As buyer's agent, can we ask for due diligence access for a client, or should we encourage them to access, or both? It's up to the listing agent, really, who they want to give access to the vault. If you are doing a buyer rep assignment and there's a Berkshire Hathaway affiliate or agent in your office that has an exclusive listing that's in Commercial Resource, if you get it under contract and you want to have access to the due diligence material so that you can talk about it with your client, I would recommend that both you and your client request access to the due diligence documents vault, obviously by going here, first getting access to the offering memorandum, and then going here and clicking on the due diligence documents vault, and then once they share it with you, then your client will have their own unique access point, and you'll have your own unique access point, and the listing agent will know when you access things and will know when the client accesses things. So, I would suggest that you both get access to it, because one thing you don't want to do is get access to the vault yourself and then give your key, if you will, or combination to the vault to your client. Because when they log in, the system is going to think it's you. And the system is going to log that you've accessed it, but they'll never log that your client accessed it, and that won't be accurate. So let's see what other questions we have here. We've got a lot of people logged in here. I don't see any more questions. So I guess that here's a question. Not a question, just a thank you. You're welcome. So just real quick, to review, the public will access the documents vault through either bhhscre.com or they'll go to, if you use the public website template, the local site template, if we go to bhhsflpcommercial.com. So you see this is their site. So if I go to um, Kim's property here, view the offering memorandum. I'm going to do this real quick here for you. And say go. So now I'm going to get access to the all the details. If I go to the documents vault, oh, this is a property she doesn't have that button checked, so not going to be able to use that one. But anyway, it's the same access that you would from the bhhscra.com site. So I picked a bad property to use as an example there on that site. All right, if there's any more questions, I don't see them. Let me just pull up this again, and I'll put that's my email. Or a phone number. If you want to send me an email with questions, or if you want to just call with questions, we'll certainly do everything we can to get all your questions answered. So let me look one more time, see if there's any questions before we sign off here. I want to thank everybody for logging in today. 44 minutes of your valuable time for you East Coasters in the middle of the day, for you West Coasters early in the morning. Appreciate that, this is kind of a time for everybody. If there's anything we can do, give us a call. If you've had problems or glitches, before you get angry, give us a call or send an email and let us have opportunity to straighten it out or fix it. We've done lots and lots of testing and all that kind of stuff, but like anything technology-wise, there's likely to be glitches and issues and confusions and things like that. So I appreciate your help with all of that stuff. Everybody have a great day, and go and make some money. Thanks. Bye-bye.